Stone Go-To IPA.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. We have had a bereavement. I smashed my Cloudwater glass by accident today. So I'm trying this beer out of the Teku glass. I'm gutted, I really like that beer, even though it would never clean properly. I'm going to have to get another one now. Gutted, I really like that. Anyway, what have we got? We have got Stone Go-To IPA. Now, I don't know about you, whether you've ever tried any Stone beers before, but I'll tell you something, these are one of the best brewers in America, in my opinion. They are pioneers of the West Coast IPA. Now, even though that's not my favoured style, they do some absolutely cracking beers. And if you look on the channel, I've reviewed a few. They did a Berliner Weiss when they were based in Berlin, so technically it was a proper Berliner. They do their classic IPA. I've just reviewed their other IPA, which for the life of me I can't remember. That was quite nice. I'll give that quite a high mark. And I've got some more in the fridge, and this is the Go-To IPA. Now I just want to talk a little bit about Stone Brewing. They're pretty unique because they started, I think it's 96, and two fellas, Greg Koch and Steve Wagner, founded them in San Diego, and ever since then they've been brewing really good quality beers. And what I really like about them is they took Miller Coors to court for copyright infringement. Miller, and that seems to be something now that these big brewers are scared of. They're obviously scared of the craft brew scene and craft brewers, but Miller Coors had put Stone on the side of their beer for some reason, I suppose in an attempt to make it look like Stone had brewed it. And they took them to court and won. So good luck to them. That's one in the eye for the big brewing corporations. And I've spoke before about how bureaucratic the system is over in America for craft brewers. I don't know whether that's changing now, but when I was over there about 3-4 years ago, I was talking to a sort of brew pub owner, and he was telling me all about it, and it's absolutely shocking. But that's none of my business. What is my business is this beer. So let's stop gassing and let's start drinking. Let's hang on, before anything happens, let's Magoo get his bins on.
Oh ho! Trying to placate me with intoxicating drinks.
Because Magoo can't see without his bins. It's 330ml 4.7 session IPA. There is the can. Now I don't know about you, that gargoyle, I love that. I'm seriously considering getting that tattooed. Yeah, so it's 4.7%. A vibrant session IPA. Fresh bursts of tropical fruit, citrus, peel, peach and melon dominates this hot packed session IPA. Really nice. Looks, 4.7%. Whether that's session or not, I don't know. But just a couple of other things about these. I mentioned that they had a brewery and a brew pub or tap room in Berlin. That's been bought out by Brewdog now, unfortunately, so I don't know what's happening with that. I'd imagine Stone beers aren't going to be as widely available, and if they are, and Brewdog are brewing them, I don't think they're going to be as good, because to be honest, Brewdog have gone fucking rapidly downhill in my opinion. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get this open and let's see what's going on. On the nose, oh blimey, I was just about to say on the nose, fucking hell. That just wafted out a big aromas of pineapple and fruit, and a little touch of pine on there as well. Smells really good. The aromas coming out of this, they're just immense. Let's get it in the glass. Now this looks like it's going to be a hazy one. And it is. Nice 2-finger head on that. Looks lovely on the nose. Oh, just more of that fruit. Grapefruit. There's some lime on there that I'm getting as well. And lemon. And peach as well. It smells really nice. Let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. Cool. Wow. That's really interesting. This beer's got a serious amount of hops in it, and according to the brew sheet on the Stone website, it contains Magnum, Amarillo, Chinook, Cascade, Mosaic, Citra, Sterling, Hallertau, Mittelfru, and Attenum as well. So that is a serious amount of hops. That's 9 or 10 hops, can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm just trying to deduce all the flavours that are coming from here. I'll tell you what there is that I've noticed on that first mouthful. It was an oniony type flavour. I normally associate that with Summit hops, but they're not in here for some reason. What I am getting is pine, grapefruit, melon, as they say, but there is an overriding bitterness all the way through here. And if you're into your hoppy IPAs, you're going to love this. This is a West Coast. Well, is it? Yeah, I think it is. To me, this is what a good West Coast should sort of taste like. It's woody pine notes. Little touch of spice on the arse end, but just big grapefruit all the way through. And it's not bad. I have to say, you know, I've said it a few times, West Coast isn't my favourite style. For me, it's just a bit too, you know, that bitter grapefruit doesn't really do it for me. I know some people love that, and, you know, more power to them. Not really my sort of style. But I have to say, the potency from the hops on this, you know, they may call it a session pale ale, and for a West Coast, that 4.7% is quite low, but it more than makes up for it in the flavour with the hops. This is quite nice as it goes. It's so easy to fuck that up where you've got all them hops, you know, there's 10 hops in there, you know, and if you get the balance wrong, you're just going to destroy it. And, you know, one style hop is going to counteract the other. It could even produce flavours that really don't taste good, but to be fair, this is not bad at all. A little bit too hoppy and bitter for me though. You got that oniony, garlicky taste, which normally you'd associate that with Summit hops. There's no Summit hops in here, so I'm not quite sure where that's coming from, but I'm definitely getting that. But yeah, it's perfectly drinkable. I'll drink that and enjoy it, but I don't think I'll be buying it again. to be fair. And I love what Stone do as well, so it's not a slight on the brewery, it's just this one isn't really for me. But having said that, they brew some fantastic beer, so they do know what they're doing. So what's the verdict? Well, as I said, this really isn't my thing, West Coast. I do like them, don't get me wrong, if I get the right one. I tried the Anchor Brewing Fogbreaker IPA the other day. That was really nice, quite like that. This is a bit too, I mean, it's got 10 different varieties of hops, so you know, it's just pungent hops in here. For me, it's just a bit too overpowering, I think. But it's certainly drinkable, don't get me wrong. But it leaves that bitter pine and lime, slightly oniony type aftertaste, which, you know, it's not like a biscuit malt or anything like that. You do get in some pale ales and all that. It's not one to savour, not one that I would want to savour anyway. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, and I'll recommend it if you like your really hoppy IPAs. That's what Stone specialise in. I mean, they do some other stuff as well. They do that, what is it? I've got the flag up there, Arrogant Bastard. That's a really good malty, I don't know, how would you class that? An ale of some description. A bit like an alt beer, if I had to describe it as anything, but a very strong flavoured alt beer. But yeah, they do some great stuff. This stuff is not really for me. It's just a bit too much over the top on the hops. So yeah, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10, but I'd recommend it if you like your hoppy IPAs, because you're going to love that, and it's 4.5%, so it's not going to knock you sideways like a lot of them West Coasts will with their really high ABV. And of course, these are the pioneers of West Coast. They were the first ones to do it properly. Almost pioneered the style. You know, you got the Alchemist Brewery doing the East Coast stuff. You could more or less say that Stone pioneered the West Coast. So yeah, there you go. 6 out of 10, recommended with caution. And remember, beer is working class champagne.